So we are fresh off the heels of Donald Trump's Nevada caucus victory at about 45-46%, more than the two candidates placing below him in second and third respectively, which would be Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. Adding their percentage totals together still does not equal one Donald Trump. It kind of begs the question, are you ready now to accept that Trump will be the Republican nominee? Regardless of what the outcomes of the Super Tuesday primaries and caucuses turn out, and they'll likely turn out heavily in favor of Donald Trump. He may even sweep them. He is still going to have the highest possible chance of winning. Now, if you're looking at the media sources like Fox News, CNN, wherever you look, really, you get the impression that Marco Rubio is going to win this race. Is it possible? Yes, it is certainly possible, assuming the correct conditions, and even then it's slim. The correct conditions would be John Kasich drops out of the race. Ben Carson drops out of the race, leaving in Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, and Marco Rubio. Ted Cruz voters are somewhat similar to Trump because Ted Cruz is sort of an outsider comparatively to the other Republican candidates. Between Trump and Cruz, there's an enormous percentage of the vote that's ready for a political outsider. So, let's say Kasich drops out of the race. Marco Rubio is supposed to inherit those votes. But will he inherit all of them? Of course not. Those votes are still going to be split between Cruz and Trump. Even if Trump just gets a marginal percentage of them, it's not going to be enough for Rubio to overtake Trump. What would have to happen is Ted Cruz would have to drop out, have all his voters go to Rubio, which is, of course, impossible, because a large portion of them would go to Trump, and somehow have just the best presentation at his town halls, the best presentation at his speaking events, complete and utter dominance in the debate, media coverage, basically ignoring other candidates, and being pushed everywhere by every possible pundit. I don't see that happening. Donald Trump is a man who thinks and speaks very much so like the average American. He speaks to the veins of our anger. He speaks to the characteristics of the American mind. He's someone who crosses party lines with his appeal. He is somebody who can pull in 1 in 5 Democrat voters, a majority of independents, and the vast majority of GOP voters. So before we discount this gentleman, Donald Trump, we should probably look at what the numbers really tell. Statistically, of course, there is a possibility he loses, but I really don't see that happening. Donald Trump will be the nominee, and I do believe we may be in for a very uncompetitive general election against Hillary Clinton, where Hillary Clinton is heavily disfavored.